Okay, here we go again. Today we will continue with our grammar, which is second conditional statements. Okay, so far we mentioned the previous types of conditionals. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we explained your conditional statement.
Yes, and first conditional.
And here we go.
First.
Yeah, we start second conditional statement. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start. The first line, what does it tell? Here we have, let's dive with this simple example. So today, I want to dive my lesson with this simple example. Look at the picture here. We have two girls, Lisa and Jess. Look at them and look at the example. One, Lisa, what does she say? She says, shall we go by bus or by train? That is train and that is bus stop. So they can go by train or by bus. The answer of Jess is, if we go by bus, it will be cheaper. Okay, what kind of conditional statement is this?
First.
Yes. First. We already mentioned this statement, this if clause, because we have present simple plus future simple, and the modal verbs of the second sentence is will. It's not anything. If we go by bus, it will be cheaper. That is the first sentence, and that is the second sentence. This is event one or cause, and this is effect or event two. Okay. For Jess, it is possible that they will go by bus. It is possible they can go by bus. So she says, if we go by bus, it will be cheaper. That is a quick revision. This is first conditional statement. And this is a simple conversation between them. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's go to the next slide, and it tells what? Lisa and Jess decide to go by train. Later, Jess talks to Joe. This is a new character, Joe. So they decided to go by train. They don't want to use bus. But after that, following that, Jess talks to Joe. This is a new character. This is Joe. How are you going to travel? Means, how do you travel? What kind of transportation do you use? Jess says we are going by train. So both of them has train. But he says if we went by bus, it would be cheaper. But the train is quicker. That is the point. What kind of
Do you care about the time?
Yes. What kind of transportation did they use?
The train?
Train, exactly. Train. But she says if we went by bus, it would be cheaper. But the train is quicker. Now, Jess knows they are not going to travel by bus. This is present. They are not going to travel by bus. They don't use bus. They don't want to use bus. So she says, if we went by bus, it would be, for example, cheaper. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we know that they have used train. When we imagine something that will not happen, okay? In the previous example, she says if we went by bus, but that is not, it's not going to happen. That is not possible for them. They don't want to use bus. But she says if we went by bus, this is an imaginary situation. This is not real for them. It would be, for example, cheaper, quicker, anything else. Okay? So that's what we meant by second conditional. For more information or for more explanation, when we imagine something that will not happen, we don't think that it's going to happen, right? Or we don't expect that it will happen. We are not predicting something happens. If plus past simple, if we went, it's not correct if you say if we are going, for example, if we go in the second form of conditional statements. If there was, look at that, it is was. If you found, you can't say if I find or if you find. If you found, this is the past form of the verb, etc. But the meaning is not past. That is important for me. The meaning is not past. Even if the verb is in the past form, but the meaning is not past. The meaning is present. That is why this kind of conditional statement is different from the other kinds of conditional statements. What would you do, for example, if you want a lot of money? This is another example. What would you do if you want a lot of money? So I'm not expecting to have or to win a lot of money right now. This is an imaginary situation. This is not real for me now. We don't really expect this to happen. So in this case, if we don't really expect something to happen, we're supposed to use second conditional statement. The second conditional statement form is if plus past simple, and future should be with would, the past form of the modal verbs. For example, should, could, might, any one of them. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Okay. So if
But teacher, those forms are only, these forms are like all second conditional, right?
Yeah, they look like each other, but we have to be careful about the structure of the rule, the form of the rule. We have past simple here, but previously we had present simple. And when it comes to meaning, when do we use the situation that you should use second conditional statement, not first or open? Whenever we are not expecting something to happen, whenever we imagine something, we should
Can you say we talk about a hypothetical event?
Exactly. Yeah. That is what I meant by this. So another example, if there was or there were an election tomorrow, who would you vote for? We know that there is no election tomorrow. Is there? No, there is no election. But this is an imaginary situation. We are not expecting to have election tomorrow, but we are talking about an imaginary situation. That is why I have used second conditional statement. And the form of second conditional statement should be in past simple. That is why, look at the example. If there was, you can't say if there is. Or an election tomorrow, look at that. The tense is not past, it is present. Am I right? Who would you vote for? Okay. One more example, or to have one more very clear and simple example. If I find and if I found. I think this is a good comparison between the conditional statements. I think I left my watch at your house. Okay. If you find it, can you call me? Or if it does not watch, for example, if it is a wallet, let me change this to a wallet. For example, you have forgotten your wallet. I think I left my wallet at your house. If you find it, can you call me? So, are you not expecting to have or to find the wallet there? Of course, because you are sure it's not something imagination.
You're sure that you left it in.
Yeah, you know that you have left your wallet there. You have forgotten your wallet there. That is why you say, I think I left my wallet at your house. If you find it, so you're expecting this action. You're expecting this sentence, this kind of activity, because your friend or he or she can find it. Can you call me? I have used can. Or you can say, will you call me? It's the same. That is if that is the first sentence, comma, the second sentence, event 1, event 2, cause, effect. Okay, the same sentence in second conditional statement. If you found a wallet in the street, so are we expecting to find a wallet 100% in the street?
No, we're just imagining.
Yeah, it's not something we are expecting to happen. Okay, what would you do? Okay, I want you to focus on the verb here and the verb there. The modal verb here and the modal verb here. Okay, look at this form. What kind of tense is this?
Past.
What kind of past?
Past simple.
Past simple.
Exactly. That is past simple. Okay, here, what kind of tense do we have?
Present.
Present simple.
Present simple. So this is the first point between them. They are different. This is present simple. This is past simple. Why? Because this.
Teacher, can you repeat that sentence again? Sorry, I left the meeting.
Yeah. Okay. If you find it, look at that. I think I left my wallet at your house. So you know that you have forgotten your wallet there. Okay? And you're expecting to get it back, to find it again. You can get your wallet again if your friend finds it for you when he gets back home. If you find it, so this is something real. This is something not imagination. You're
expecting, right?
You're expecting to have this. This action will happen. Can you call me? Okay, so that is the second sentence. That is the result clause. This is main clause. If you remember them, we said that if connects two sentences together, the first sentence is main clause and the second one is result clause. So if he finds your wallet, he is going to call you. So that is something not imagination. It's not something imaginary. This is we are expecting to have this action that will happen. So this is the first example, and it is in first conditional statement. That is present simple, that is future simple, because you are expecting this to happen. But I'm not expecting this happens. I'm not expecting this happen because it is not very popular when you, for example, go out to find a wallet in the street. This is imaginary. You are not expecting this very much. So if you found a wallet, this is not something that you're expecting it very much. So that is why in this situation we should use second conditional statement, and the form of second conditional statement is past simple plus future.
If plus past.
Yeah, but the modal verb of the future should be in the past form. For example, will is not correct here. It should be would. If I want to use can, I have to change it to could. Okay, so this example can be very clear for you to imagine how do you make differentiation between first conditional and second conditional. At the same time,
Thank you,
it
teacher.
comes, yeah. Is it clear?
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Don't worry, we will go for more clarification. In the other part of the sentence, not the if part. If part, we mean the sentence that comes after if. We use would, or this is the contraction form, or wouldn't. What do we mean by this? Not in the part of if part. For example, what would you do? So far, I haven't written or I haven't seen if, right? What would you do? Then we start if. After if, we shouldn't have would, for example, could, modal verbs. We shouldn't have this. If you were bitten by a snake, right? What would you, so would can be seen in the other part of if sentence, right? After if,
so we don't
can't
use it
have,
with the part of the if.
for example, after if we have main clause, right?
Yes.
So when it comes to main clause, we are not having would, we don't have would, we don't have could, any one of them. So where do we have would, for example, could, might, in the other part of the sentence? That's the other
The
part
sentence.
of, yes. Another example, I'm not going to bed yet. I'm not tired. This is an example, this is a sentence, that's another. If I went to bed now, that is present, if I went to bed now, you know that you are not going to bed because you are not tired. I wouldn't sleep. Look at that. Where is if part? That is if part till you get the comma. It starts from the if itself till you reach the comma. Can you find would, could, might, any one of them?
Yes.
No.
No.
That is what I meant.
In the last sentence, sorry. In the last
In
sentence.
the other part, I wouldn't sleep. You can find, you can have would.
Would.
Did you get that point?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you, another example, would you mind if I used your phone? Another example is this one. After if, we don't have would again. We don't have could, any one of them. Would is in the other part of if part. Would you mind if I used your phone? Is this one also clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Very good, very good. So we are moving, we want to continue. Could and might are also possible. We can use could and might because both of them are also possible. We can, it depends on the meaning. You can use could instead of would. You can use might instead of may. The form of the sentence doesn't change. Look at this example. If I want a lot of money, I might buy a house. I might. So you can say I, for example, could. I would buy a house. But it is possible that I would buy a house. It is possible. Maybe I am going to buy a house. I would buy a house. There is possibility. I'm not sure that if I want a lot of money, I would buy a house. I'm not sure to buy a house or not when I use might. Might shows the degree of probability. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
So you can use could or might instead of would. If it is stopped raining, sorry, if it stopped raining, there is noise. If it stopped raining, we could go out. Okay, so the situation here, the weather is terrible in this sentence. It rains for cats and dogs. So it is raining very much. You are not expecting to stop that kind of weather. The rain doesn't stop. You are not expecting to this. That is why you use second conditional statement, and the other part is we could go out. We would be able to go out. We would be able to go out. In Kurdish, so that it will be clearer to you, اگر بارانك بوسته اما تواني بچونات درو. Okay, بلان هشتا نچت درو معناکه past نیه present رانا بردوه. بلان تو چهاره او ناکی بپی او دوخه باران کبل ما اباره تو توقعی او ناکی imagination او نیه که دلقیت البارانك بوسته و بچیت درو. بوی علی اگر بوسته باو اما اما توانی بچینه درو. نقبل اتشینه درو. ها could لقل ود لرا جوازك ايوه. And one more point here, after could, might, would, any one of them, we should have base form. I will come to that. I have written this for you in the following slides. Okay. In conclusion, so I want to conclude the grammar in another form. Second conditional if unreal condition. Unreal condition means something it is not happening, doesn't happen, or I'm not expecting, imagining this to happen. Okay. Cause sentence, event one means the first sentence, and if second conditional comes first, we can write the first event from the beginning after if, and then effect sentence or event 2 follows. It also can be used from the beginning and in the middle at the previous forms of conditionals. I can use it from the beginning or in the middle, but the tense of cause must be past simple. This is important. This is important. It should be past simple. And effect tense must be future with the past form of the modal verbs, with the past form. When I say past form, you should remember would, could, might. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The past form of modal verbs is written below. We write the modal verbs before the subject in the effect sentence or event 2. For example, shall turns to should, will turns to would, may, might, can, could. That is the structure of the rule. We have if plus past simple, that is cause sentence or event 1, comma, subject, then this is future, but we should have should, would, could, might. That is effect sentence or event 2. And after this, after subject should, would, could, might, we should have base form. This is base form, and that is important for you. You can refer to the previous examples so that it can be the rule can be clear for you. After any one of them, we always have base form. After that, we have complement. Is the rule clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, I hope so. So I have made this for you. That is first conditional possible, that is second conditional not possible, according to meaning. I have always told you grammar is important, but what's more important to me is the meaning of, or when do we use them. That is, when the situation is possible, we should use first conditional. But if the situation is not possible, we should use second conditional. And then that is present, if present will, if past would. Example, maybe I will find here. It is possible. Here, if I find her, I will tell her that I love her. Okay, another, the same example, but in the different form. I will not find her. It is improbable. If I found, look at that. If I found her, look at that again. I will tell her. I would tell her. So
Two different meaning.
yes, the meaning is different because in the second one, in the green box, you are not expecting this. It is improbable. But here, you're expecting to find her. Okay, so two points are different here, but one point is similar. What's that? Who can tell me?
Is it the like if?
Yeah, yes, go ahead. The verb.
The verb is based
And the
after.
Yes.
Verb is based.
Yeah. In both of the sentences, yes. The two sentences have the base form. The two sentences have base form after the modal verb. That is important. Okay? So I think this is here, and you can, sorry, and I think you can make comparison between them very clearly. Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, so let's go forward. We have some notes here. They are important. Number one, if the sentences are negative, we should use the rules in negative form. In this case, if we have main verb, we should write didn't before the main verb. No consideration of the subject. And we return the main verb present tense. Okay, let me explain this note for you in the first example and second example here. He played well. Okay, or it is better to change it to picture is female. Okay. Okay. She played well. She didn't play well. Look at that. That is not a main verb. This is, we don't have adjective. We don't have adverb. We don't have prepositions. So to negative, to make a negative form, we should write didn't and return the base form. The verb to base form. Didn't play. I have removed ed. Here there is no ed. I just added didn't, and no consideration of the subject means that if I change she to they, it is the same. They didn't. If I change she to, for example, I, it is the same. It is not like don't or don't. It doesn't depend on the subject, actually. There is no consideration of the subject.
And return the main verb to present.
Sorry? Okay. So I think if you know that's simple, this is not new for you. This is like a revision for you again. She played well, she didn't play well. They will play well. They won't play well. They will play well. They won't play well. Look at that. If we have, for example, a future tense, if it is will or would, okay? For example, if I change this to would, okay? How do you write the negative form of would?
Wouldn't.
Exactly.
They wouldn't play with.
Yeah, yes, it will be. It's going to be wouldn't.
So it's true if you said it, right?
Sorry, it's true if you.
Yeah, is it true if we like, write wouldn't, right?
If you write drive,
No. If we write wouldn't, it will be right,
oh yeah,
right?
yeah. For example, if you have will, you can use will plus not. It's going to be will not or won't. This is the construction form. How do you make a negative form of this sentence? You just add not to the modal verb. Would, wouldn't. Could, couldn't. Okay. Might not. For example. But if it is, for example, past simple, you have to write didn't plus the base.
Didn't.
She didn't play well. The second note, the helping verb must be for the singular subjects. I think we have mentioned verb to be very much, and you know that was is the friend of singular verbs, right? I was, for example, he was, she was, it was. So was is the friend of the singular subjects or pronouns. And were for the plural subjects. For example, you can't say we was. We have to say we were, right?
Yeah.
We were, they were. Singular names or plural names. Was, were. This is clear, I think. This is not something new.
Yes.
But look at next slide. We also can use were. This is important because this is, I think, new for you. We can use were with all the subjects in case we have it, but using were shows more formality. That is the different point between them. What is, for example, the different point between was and were? When we have second conditional statement, were shows more formality and it is more polite. It is popular in written form than using was. So in this case, he, she, it, I, we, you, they, we can use were. We can say, for example, he were, she were, it were, any one of them. But this is more formal. This is a formal way. Okay? Have you got this point?
Yes.
Yes.
We got some exam practice. Number one, we will have the map. We will not be lost. We have two different sentences, right? We have two different sentences here. And it says use if in second conditional. I want to have a piece of paper and a pen and try to write the answer by yourself before I'm giving you the answer. We will have the map. The first thing, we have to separate what is cause, what's effect, what's event one, what's event two, what's main result.
We'll have the map is like the condition. Right? The result is we will be lost.
Result close.
We will not be lost is the result.
Yeah. So before thinking of anything, you can write if from the beginning.
We had the map.
Yes. If we had the map,
We wouldn't be lost.
We wouldn't be lost.
Okay. That is the example. If we had the map, you would not be
Wouldn't.
wouldn't be
Be
lost.
lost.
Look at that. Be is what? Is base form. That is base.
Yes.
The second one, if I, in two brackets, be a bird, I could fly. Right? Okay.
If I were a
If
bird.
I was.
If
Were.
I was a
Were.
bird, I could fly.
Teacher, you know,
Okay.
You have to use
Was and where.
Back the verb between brackets. Okay. اسمع توقعناك او شيء unreal imagination اگر اما بالم دلين افرين اما زينا
Yeah, so we have to use second conditional.
راستا او كذلك conditional كي second conditional then you have to correct the form, right?
Yeah, which is past.
Who can guess?
Were.
Were.
Right.
Were.
It's
Okay, is that the
It's
only
where.
is that the only answer?
No, we can.
no.
We use
You
was
can use
too.
was too.
Exactly, you can use any one of them according to this note.
Was and where.
Were is like more formal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my point. That is what I want. If I was or were a bird, I could fly. Do you think they are different? Yes, they are.
Yes.
What is the different point between them? Where shows more
Where is more
formality.
formal?
Where should
Exactly.
more
Yeah. That particular subject is going to be repeated when you go to 12th grade. This is important. Number 3. If he dash a king, she might be a queen. How do you know this is second conditional statement?
Because queen, kings are not a
Might.
thing.
We have might.
Yes, exactly. We have might, which is in the past form of the modal verbs. Right? Maybe it is something imagination because he is not going to be a king.
King, and she's not.
Yes.
An officer, for example. He is a porter. But you can say if he, I am not
Always.
Both
give
A
you
and
So
B.
C is correct.
C.
Yeah.
Were and was.
As usual,
Both of them.
yeah, I'm going to give you the answer by the end of the examples. You
Okay.
can write the option,
So we don't.
yeah, by yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Next slide. Number 4. What's dash if the F dash turning?
See.
We have
D.
What
we
would
have
happen
two
if the ear stopped turning?
dashes here.
شنو تخمن الأخير هنا كان.
See? Sorry.
لا يخوت عم بينوصل تيجي الأخيرة والله ما قيمة
Yeah, just guess the answer by yourself. I'm not going to tell you the answer right now, but by the end of the slide, by the end of the examples, I will give you the answers. So if you want to say it or not, it's not an issue actually. You have to write the answer that you think it is true.
Okay.
You have two dashes here. Okay. What's dash if the F dash turning? What will happen? Stopped. Would happen, stop. Stop, would happen, stopped. You have to be careful. You have to compare the two options together. Then, after all, you can decide the correct answer. That is will happen, that is stopped. That is will plus happen base, that is ed form. That is would, but this is present. That is present, and this is past form of the modal verb. This is past form of the modal verb, and this is past form of the verb. Okay, so I would like to go to number 5. Where dash you live if you move to Canada? You, for example, you are not expecting him to move to Canada. Both would have, would buy, had, would both have will by had. So if you have done with number 6, I will click the answers for you. Look at your answers. Three, C was correct. 4, D, A for 5, B for skis. That is the end of my lesson today. Thank you for paying attention. I hope you have had benefit from it.